Stadium in Madrid for Real Madrid versus Manchester City. We're live from the Bernabeu Stadium, and what an atmosphere it promises to be. A tremendous crowd. There's about 90,000 here in Madrid tonight. JB here. What a day. What a nice day to see a big game happen on your birthday. I might be 37, but I'm like a young 10-year-old looking forward to this game as a commentator. The schoolboy enthusiasm is back, and we're all set to go. What a game it does promise to be. As a commentator, the schoolboy enthusiasm is back, and we're all set to go. What a game. And we're just waiting for the teams to re-emerge here, at this famous old arena. Venue, of course, for the 1982 World Cup final. Of course, we'll keep you abreast with the events, of course, in Lyon, because Lyon are playing Juventus for their rights to go into the quarterfinals. There's a terrific atmosphere, as I say. On the 17th of March will be St Patrick's Day. Will be the second legs of both these games. But Manchester City, the pressure's on them more than most, because when you think about it logically, they are a side that could, subject to a court of arbitration hearing, be thrown out of the Champions League for the next 2 seasons because of allegedly breaking, and we should say allegedly at this point, and I use the word strongly, breaking fair play rules. But we'll just have to see how that pans out as we wait for the teams to converge from this tunnel here. An atmosphere. I'm really looking forward to this game. Should be an absolute crackeroonie, and the comment section is open for business, as you would expect. A great atmosphere, as I say, and only one. And I really do hope that both teams really enjoy themselves and get behind as well. Should be a cracking atmosphere for this game. One thing's for certain, it's going to be a humdinger, and hopefully you'll enjoy it with us here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. And I have no... I don't think we're going to be... It's going to be an amazing game. Should be a crackerjack of a game. And hopefully we'll bring it to you live. And we're just waiting to start. The team lineup: no Aguero and no Sterling starting for Manchester City tonight. That they are on the bench. Gareth Bale is not in the starting 11 for Real Madrid either. But as I say, I'll give you the full rundown on the teams in a second or two. With 5 minutes still to go towards the kick-off here in Madrid. And really, this game, as I said, has extra importance really for Manchester City than it does Real Madrid, because if you think about it logically, this is an opportunity for them to really take command here of the situation. So this could possibly be their last Champions League tie for 2 years, subject to obviously that court. I mean, obviously according unless CAS overrule against UEFA. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. But one thing's for sure, it should be a cracking atmosphere. We've got the comment section on the laptop, so I'll be able to read your comments as we go along, because it seems to be that we get through effectively, move through that. Last night we saw a disappointing display from Chelsea. Thank you to everybody sorry about that. A huge thank you to everybody who listened along who watched along to the cricket earlier today. That was I was very impressed by that. But we're now just 3 minutes away, minutes away from the kick-off of Real Madrid against Manchester City. A game that I really have been looking forward to all day. Manchester City in a very long tunnel. There's about 3,000 flights of stairs there. In fact, they're divided. That's how much it is here, as the teams will emerge to a colder of noise here. And here they come out the tunnel here, and a massive crowd, around about 85,000 here in Madrid. And this really is something special to watch and to certainly enjoy. Don't forget, folks, just before we bring you the two lineups, don't forget we are a family show, so keep your comments clean. If you are commenting tonight, the comment section is open for business, of course, while they go through that preamble with the Champions League theme. As I say, we are a family show. We'll keep your comments clean, keep your comments respectable, and there's anything up to 6 moderators on at any one time, so you have been warned. And of course we'll be asking you to choose a JB man of the match in the second half. I'm sure the players don't want all this preamble, they just want to get on with the business in hand, especially Manchester City. The pressure's on them. And the atmosphere here is absolutely deafening here in Madrid. As I say, about 85,000 here tonight in the Bernabeu Stadium. But this is a big test for Manchester City. There's no two ways about this. I think they've got to go out there with the intentions of trying to nick an away goal, maybe, and a result of some kind. Otherwise it could be a very tough old evening, certainly from their point of view. Right, let's give you that Real Madrid side, shall we? In just a second or two. We'll get the confirmation there in a second or two. So here we go with Courtois in goal. Then it's Carvajal, Ramos, Varane and Mendy. Valverde, Casemiro, Modric. And then up front, Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Isco. On the bench, Arbeloa, Milito, Cruz, Bale, Marcelo, Vasquez and Jovic. Zinedine Zidane and Pep Guardiola, two old masters of their craft. Shake each other's hands down below me. Referee tonight comes from Italy, Daniele Ostado. The assistant VAR referee is Maserati, also a referee in his own esteem. Let's look at that Manchester City lineup then. It's Henderson in goal for Pep Guardiola's team tonight. Then it's a back four of Mendy, Laporte, Otamendi and Walker. De Bruyne, Rodrigo and Gundogan, a three-man midfield, with Bernardo, Gabriel Jesus and Riyad Mahrez up front. On the bench, Bravo, Sterling, Aguero, David Silva, Fernandinho, Cancelo and Phil Foden. Pep Guardiola, the coach. So it's a strong Manchester City bench, but a few surprises there named by Pep Guardiola. Zinedine Zidane. What can his side do? They've got Gareth Bale on the bench. And of course there's a bit of a rift if the media are to be believed that Gareth Bale and Zinedine Zidane don't get on with each other. Well, he's still there. As Real Madrid in those famous all-white shirts. We'll get us all underway. Manchester City in the old dark strip. Real Madrid, of course, looking to try and our second in La Liga going into this game. But they're not the force they once was, of course, without Mr. Zidane. Here's Modric on the near side. He's still a class act, even to this day. And here is a turn there by De Bruyne. De Bruyne turns nicely there. And then the ball comes back again in towards Bernardo Silva. Good start this from Manchester City. Then Mendy with a cross in from the left-hand side. It breaks to Bernardo Silva inside the penalty area. The cross came in and it was deflected away. Good start this from Manchester City, but here comes Modric from Real Madrid. Real Madrid who have won the most European Cups in the history of the tournament, stretching back to the late 50s when it was known as the European Cup. A minute gone. Let me know what you think, what's going to happen in the game in the comment section below. Please also don't give out the scores during the game if your stream is in front of our commentary. Keep your comments clean as well, goes without saying. Anyway, the ball over on the far side. It's Madrid in those white shirts coming forward. They've still got class acts, but not as good as they used to have in terms of really world-class talent. As the ball played in there by Carvajal, and then the ball out towards the far side. Now then, real opportunity arising here for Mendy. Mendy now on the far side, turns nicely. 1 minute 47 gone in the first half. Ball played into the penalty area, dealt away there by Nicola Otamendi. Coming up towards 2 minutes gone in the first half, and it's Real Madrid 0, Manchester City 0. Throw to Real Madrid on the far side. The final Champions League commentary of the first legs in the Europa League. Rangers were in action against Braga tonight, and they won through 1-0, 4-2 on their goat roll. Rangers confirmed as the next team into the last 16 of the Europa League, and well done to them. A great night for Scottish football, with Rangers winning through. Well done to them. It's 0-0 here, Champions League. The other game, of course, between Lyon and Juventus, and of course we'll hopefully keep you abreast of what's happening there over in France a little bit later on. If there's any goals going, we'll let you know first on the GB Clark YouTube channel. There's Russ is busy commentating on Leeds against Middlesbrough tonight, so you probably won't hear from Russ tonight. But a great atmosphere, as I say. It's a tremendous game in prospect, and I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, please the comment section's there for everyone to use, so get using it, but use it right, use it properly. No bad language, please. Ball back with Henderson here in the City goal. It's 0-0, remember. Kick down the middle, looking towards Gabriel Jesus, but the ball with Thibaut Courtois, formerly of Chelsea and Atletico Madrid, of course. Implied he's traded 3 years on loan in his younger days. And this is Carvajal to Varane. Varane now coming out of his own edge of his penalty area and getting the ball forward. 3.5 minutes gone, 0-0. Nothing significant happening yet. As the ball is played forward again, Modric looking to pick the right pass, and he's got Benzema here on the right hand side. Picks up Carvajal, trying to thread the ball through, and ball out of play for a throw in to Real Madrid in line with the 18-yard box of Manchester City. There's Zinedine Zidane. As well as a player and as a manager, of course. A legend, of course, Zizou in these parts. Also had spells with Juventus and started his career off, I think, with Bordeaux. Mr. Guardiola will not be very liked in these parts, as he was the former manager of Barcelona and a former player of Barcelona. Hence the rivalry between the two sides. To give him his full name, it's Josep Guardiola, although we know him in the UK as Pep. So we all know what we're talking about. UEFA trying to be prim and proper as usual in there, but we all know him as Pep. Anyway, here's Luka Modric now, and of course Sergio Ramos, who can have a tendency to play act, and this is what Manchester City must not do: dive in on tackles, and because Mr. Ramos has a bit of a reputation, shall we say. 5 minutes gone, and you've missed nothing in terms of any genuine opportunities yet. Game's still just starting just to simmer a little bit, but not too much. Edison looking to take maybe a long kick. Yeah, thought about it because he looked at the shape of the players and the way they were going to try and charge him down if he had gone short there. It's with Mendy on the far side now for Real Madrid, on halfway, back in field again, and We'll just have to see how this one will play out. If City can nick an away goal, that would be a tremendous result for them. We have to be fair. Manchester City are still a good side. What happens on the field doesn't affect what happens off it. And there was a boost to Manchester City when Pep Guardiola announced he was going to stay, whatever the result of the court of arbitration stuff with the with all that. And of course we want to keep a close eye on what happens with them, because of course Manchester City will face up in potentially our next live match at Wembley on Sunday. And there may be a few Villa fans online for that one if we are live. Aston Villa against Manchester City. We'll let you know if we can do it live on the day of the match. And if we do, we'll be on the air around about 4:10 at Wembley, hopefully with a full match for you. Millie says, or Miley says, hope Madrid beat them. Well, it's nice to have you with us. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. We're always happy to have. We're 3 subscribers short of 700, so it'd be lovely if we could reach that milestone for such a big game tonight. At the moment, it's just a bit of keep football at the moment. The ball looking towards number 5 here, Varane. It does well to shake off Bernardo Silva, but let's put the legalities behind them, what happens off the pitch, because Manchester City are still a class act on the pitch. Doesn't matter how they've gone about it, they still have to produce it on the field of play. It's all well and good spending money on and all that sort of thing, but what people don't realise is that they've actually regenerated that area in Manchester where their stadium is. It was a very deprived part of Manchester, and the sheikhs who bought Manchester City put a lot of money into the facilities in that region of Manchester, and it looks a completely different animal to what it once was. I should know, I go to Manchester quite a lot and I've got friends over there and I've seen pictures and everything, so they're not a bad team as people are making it out to be. Just the press, several uneducated members of the press making out Manchester City are bad guys when really they're not. But here comes Mendy now on the far side for Real Madrid. They're still a class act, even though they haven't got Ronaldo anymore on their side. And Isco trying to get in there, but he's lost possession. And now a chance now for Mendy to come, number 22 rather, Mendy to come forward. There's 2 Mendys in the in both there. One for Manchester City and one for Real Madrid. I hope people can distinguish them from the other. Anyway, still 0-0 here with just coming up to 9 minutes of the first half played. A decent game here developing. We just need a couple of chances or 2, and then the light blue touch paper will be well and truly lit. We want to see all our English teams get through. I know Spurs are struggling. Chelsea even more so after their horrible defeat against Bayern Munich we covered last night when Serge Gnabry took them to the sword. Liverpool got a mountain to climb in their match against Atletico Madrid, but the good news for them really is that they're at Anfield in just over 2 weeks' time. And this time next week we'll be covering FA Cup action, and should be a crackerjack. The road to Wembley continues. Thank you, New Caton. Good evening to you. Happy birthday, he says. Thank you very much. For those who don't know, it's my birthday today. My numbers are 3 and a 7. That's how old I am. Or young even. Coming up towards 10 minutes gone. Header one midway side. The Madrid half by Sergio Ramos. And the Italian referee says no foul on halfway. Valverde was fouled, but the referee deciding to play on from Italy. Letting the game flow as much as he can. This is number 22 Mendy now for Manchester City. Going down the left hand side. Jesus has just got a little bit more central as Mendy made the run. He was on the left hand overlap initially, Jesus, but Sergio Ramos involved in some controversy in the final 2 years ago when his blatant piece of pulling on Mo Salazar put Salah out the game and ruined the European Cup final utterly. Well, we can forgive you. Homework's got to be done, New Caton. Homework's got to be done. I had no doubt you tune in at some point and see us. It was just a question of when. Ramos, no, nothing wrong with that. It's just a pure shoulder charge. And the one thing I don't like about Sergio Ramos is he does have a bit of tendency to play act, which sort of gets my goat up a little bit as a commentator, because you want to see good football being played. Here's Luka Modric, and now we've got Isco down near side, rolling about as he's being shot. He's holding his face. Let's see what happened. Did he catch him on his face? Mendy's just pushed him, and I don't think there was anything malicious in that. It's a free kick, definitely. But to say you're holding your face is a little bit ridiculous. I don't watch much Spanish football for that reason, because they all tend to play act. At the moment, it's still 0-0 anyway, with just under 12 minutes of the game gone. This is number 14 now, Casemiro. And now Mendy on the left-hand side for Real Madrid. Mendy takes the ball back again. And tries to go past 2 or 3 City defenders, and then a lovely ball there by Valverde over to the far side. Now a real opportunity here for Madrid. Benzema waiting in the middle, and good defensive work there by Lampard. Newcastle will bring us a few scores. Doesn't matter if they've already been happening, we'll bring them up to date. As long as we're up to date, that's absolutely fine. Doesn't matter what's happened before. One thing is for certain, we've got a match on our hands here now. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you are listening, don't forget to hit that subscription button. We're 3 short of hitting that 700 mark, which would be amazing tonight. And I hope you can join us. Here's Isco trying to go forward, but well defended again, this time by Mendy. Held him off well. And no goals have been scored so far in any of the championship games. I know Russ is busy tonight, so we totally understand Russ's situation. He's got to follow leads, what come may. It was nice for people to join us for the cricket earlier on, which was quite good. We know England virtually lost the game. Thank God it wasn't a real match, and it was a Cricket 19 production. And the flag has stayed down here against Luka Modric, the former Spurs player. And he checks in, tries to play the ball back in there, crossing from the right hand side, but Manchester City get it away. And here's Lampard trying to wiggle his way out. Gundogan, and now Kyle Walker. We haven't spoken too much about the Yorkshireman from Sheffield, of course. Plenty of Yorkshire steel amongst this expensively bought assembled Manchester City side. As I say, you can buy all the players you want, but if you can't turn them into world beaters, that's where the proof in the pudding lies. I think because of the money thing. I mean, Real Madrid and Barcelona have been fiddling stuff financially for years, but yet they get away with it, because in UEFA's eyes they are sort of like an elite club, where and that's in UEFA's eyes. Anyway, welcome back JB, welcome back to Trevor Sports as well. He did his own supplementary version of it on Trevor Sports' Sports Night. The cricket was disappointing, but hey, we're still two games to go, and all's not lost. Thank God it's Cricket 19 and not in real life, eh? Otherwise we'd all been moaning. Anyway, quarter of an hour almost gone here. There's not really been one significant outstanding chance in this first half. It's still 0-0 as the ball is played towards number 2 Carvajal. But again, Manchester City very, very assured in their defence. Of course, here's Rodri now from Manchester City. Remember, they are allegedly going to be banned from the Champions League for the next 2 years, and of course, CAS will get involved. The Court of Arbitration for Sport. We'll just have to see how that plays out as the cross comes in from the left-hand side, looking towards Benzema, and then the shot by Varane, left-footed, goes over the top, and a goal kick to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Just looking at Zinedine Zidane. Sports Night has it 2-0 to City. If you haven't seen it, I do apologise, but it is a good watch. City do well in that game. City deciding to kick clear. Edison hitting it long down the ground. It might prove out to be a good decision because he found Jesus, who just couldn't control it. Kevin De Bruyne is the captain for City tonight in place of David Silva's on the bench. Of course, the big news is no Gareth Bale in the Real Madrid starting lineup. He's on the bench along with Vasquez and Jovic and Toni Kroos. Goal kick to Real Madrid, which Thibaut Courtois, who's coming for a lot of criticism since he's moved from Chelsea to Real Madrid in the last couple of seasons. He will take the kick. Big 6 foot. Please respect your elders. Yes, Trevor was brought up a very traditional way, Newcaton. So was I, actually. I had parents who sadly they're no longer with us, but I had parents who were always taught us manners and respect. What does that mean? Sorry, and respect. It means just show a bit of manners, like please, thank you, all that sort of thing. Newcaton. Speak when you're spoken to, that sort of thing. It's a very old traditional values. Let's put it that way, Newcaton. Right, anyway, 0-0. Okay, sorry, Trevor. You don't have to apologise. It's just tongue-in-cheek stuff, Newcaton. You're a good lad. We're only pulling your leg, young lad. Don't you worry. Well, we might need a bit of the road banter at the moment because no one seems to have the inclination here to try and attack here in this opening 17 minutes. Mendy, though, keeping the ball now for Manchester City. Into Gundogan. You can call me Trev. Well, there you are. Everyone calls you Trev anyway. You know. Anyway, here's Gundogan on the ball for Manchester City. Still 0-0 if you've joined us late. Nothing really significant is happening in terms of real goal-mouth activity. Been a lot of pass and move, but some of it's now going backwards. It's gone backwards to Edison with Manchester City in possession here. Short to Eric Laporte. And Laporte gets the ball back to Edison, and quite a number of whistles from the locals here in Madrid who are not very happy that City are just City are taking their time in possession. Edison trying to go long. I just want to see a good game of football, regardless of who wins tonight. I think we all want to see a good game of football, and I do hope that the referee referees it well. I have to say, the French referee I was very impressed with, apart from one moment where he booked Jorginho for nothing, but just talking to him and just disputed the decision he gave, and he gave an instant yellow card. Meanwhile, Modric almost pinching the ball there from Laporte, but Otamendi recovered for City and he gets it back to Edison. Still 0-0, and City trying to play out from the back here. Maybe on a night like this it's probably better to go and hoof it long, maybe just to try and release a bit of pressure, but Gundogan's done well. Brings out Mendy. Oh, he can't find Jesus, and the ball's given away once more, and here come Real Madrid. Ball out towards Benzema on the far side. Benzema now, can he keep it in play on that far side? Yes, he can. Left hand side for Real Madrid. He's got Mendy, the other Mendy now on the near side, the Real Madrid version. At the moment, no questions being asked at the moment. It has been a bit cagey. I have to agree with you, absolutely honest. But City, you can understand their predicament. They're away from home. First up, they don't want to concede anything to Real Madrid, because if they can nick one on the break and take an away goal back to the Etihad for the second leg, then it's all systems go, because they don't use many games at the Etihad. Liverpool have still got the goal there. They almost lost their unbeaten record the other night. Oh, here's a chance for Jesus. It's on the area. Jesus shoots. Good save by Courtois. And the rebound is cleared. And it's a corner kick to Manchester City. But Gabriel Jesus, with the first almost decisive moment of the first half, turned, got his shot in right-footed, and Thibaut Courtois, diving away to his left, got a hand out and made a very fantastic save. There it is. Gets both hands to it. And Mendy got it out for a corner. Taken short here. There comes the cross. Gundogan with the cross in from the right-hand side. Turned away by Real Madrid. And here goes Vinicius Jr., who's fouled there on halfway. Or is he? Or is he? Well, answers on a postcard, please. Did Rodrigo foul Vinicius Jr.? Well, he's got his shoulder on his arm. He's got his hand on his shoulder, but he's not pushed him. Vinicius Jr. is just making a bit of a meal of it. Meanwhile, we're just seeing the first bit of real goal-mouth activity here, and it almost turned out to be a priceless away goal there for Manchester City. Trevor asks, how much is the referee going to be paid by UEFA to see that Madrid go through? Well, we can't speculate on that. We'll just have to see how that one plays out. Newcaton said, if Trevor wants to do scores with me, that's fine. It's up to him, I don't mind. Absolutely Anonymous says, good evening, JB. Very cagey start. Both teams cancelling each other out. Very passive. It wasn't up until that Jesus chance a minute or two back. Newcaton reckons it'll be a 2-1 Real Madrid win. Well, mind you, a 2-1 Madrid win will be good for Manchester City because they'll have an away goal as well. Because away goals count double after 90 minutes of two-legged knockout European football. And if you haven't heard the news, there was great news for Scotland today because Rangers have won through to the next round of the Europa League. They played a day early because the game's been played in Portugal. They don't play on Thursdays for some unaccountable reason. So don't bother asking why, because I've given the reason. But Rangers won by a goal to nil and 4-2 on aggregate. And they're the first team guaranteed a place in the last 16 of the Europa League, the draw for which I think will be on Friday. Friday lunchtime, British time, I think. All the other ties take place tomorrow, none of which we'll be able to cover for you live because I'm going to be back in my day job, working away in deepest Burnley. From Madrid, from the highs of commentating on a game in the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid today, back to reality tomorrow in my day job. You know, it's all go in my world. Halfway through the first half then at the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid. Real Madrid no, Manchester City no. He just joined us late. Gabriel Jesus has had a shot palmed away brilliantly by Thibaut Courtois. This is Carvajal now for Real Madrid on the right. Goes back to Varane. Varane now towards his centre-back colleague, number 4, Sergio Ramos. Is also Real Madrid's captain. Taking over from the legend that was Iker Casillas, who was the goalkeeper for Real Madrid for some 15 years. Of course, now retired and played a little bit of in the last few years of his career over in Portugal. 24 gone here at the Bernabeu Stadium, and here goes Vinicius Jr. towards the edge of the area, but well marshalled there, or was he? He's lost it, and in fact a foul has been given there against Vinicius Jr. The ball's in the back of the net. The goal doesn't stand. The Italian referee has given a free kick to Manchester City. It was Mahrez there. He was very lucky, in fact, to get away with that, because if Vinicius Jr. hadn't have been that little bit and not fouled him there, Madrid could have easily been in front through Mahrez's own stupidity there. Rodri hits a high up and under, still deep inside the City half. Now the ball will break for Walker, who just hoofs it about 40 yards up the field, but into no man's land, and Thibaut Courtois can pick that up. No goals in any of the Championship. Is the 2-year Champions League ban a done deal? No, it isn't. It's subject to a ruling from the European Court of Arbitration for Sports, initialed CAS, and they will make the decision. City, I think, we're always going to appeal it. It was a UEFA ruling, but yet they'll let Barcelona and Real Madrid do anything they want in sundry and get away with it. That's my frustration of it. I mean, City are a good team. I mean, you can't knock City's and manager and the players. They're they're trying to do stuff on the field. It's all off the field. But if you look at the owners, what they've done to that part of Manchester where City play their games, around the Etihad Stadium, the community there has been revitalised with their money. And I think it's wrong of UEFA to say that they fiddled the books and things like that. But we'll find out. We've got an independent body looking at it now, and hopefully common sense will prevail, and Manchester City will hopefully take their rightful place if they do end up finishing second, of course. Next year it will be a real shame if we didn't. Wouldn't it be a turn up if they won the European Cup themselves? But still a long way to go. But here's Jesus into the area. Jesus kicks his feet. He could have gone down there because I felt he was being pushed there by one of the Madrid defenders, which was Carvajal. But here's Bernardo Silva. City okay, just trying to settle into the job. Mendes fouled his man, unfortunately, down below me. And a free kick it is. It was Valverde who was pushed over. Modric has taken one for the team there. And his underarm. Nothing that Laporte did wrong there. He was just trying to clear the ball. There's been a goal in the game at the Manchester Stadium. It's a big goal for Reading. A big goal in that. It's a bit of a relegation battle going on there because Reading and Wigan, the two teams that are struggling. Both Premier League clubs that are around the team a few years ago. Finding life tough at the moment at the bottom of the Championship. But it's Wigan who have taken the lead through more after 23 minutes. Absolutely Anonymous says, "Oh, damn days jobs. Get BBC ITV on the blower. They should have a commentator or two." Yeah, I'd love it. Well, I think they come to you. I think it's just a case of getting to know. Maybe Trevor Sports might doing a little bit of. I'm doing a bit of work for Trevor Sports as well. That's where you'll be able to hear that next week. It's De Bruyne shoots! Right-footed and into the crowd behind for a goal kick. But Kevin De Bruyne there with an opportunity to put Manchester City in front. And the flag had stayed down and he was onside. It was half a chance actually because he was under a little bit of pressure there from Luka Modric there. There's been a goal at Hull. Hull 0, Barnsley 1. 41 minutes to go. Corey Woodrow, the scorer. And as we just see another replay of the early opportunity for Jesus, which was well repelled. Pep Guardiola heading his hands. 28 gone then. It seems to have gone quick, even though the best chances have fallen to Manchester City. The away side here tonight. If they were to get an away goal, it would be a tremendous result for them. Just puts me in mind of Arsenal when they were struggling a few years ago in 2006 when they were way behind the 8 ball in the league and out of both competitions, and they only had the Champions League to play for. They got drawn against Real Madrid and won heroically and got to the final when they were undone by Barcelona. Meanwhile, there's a foul and Benjamin Mendy will not play in the second game at the Etihad in 2 weeks' time. He's just fouled Modric there. It's a free kick. I think in the Premier League game you'd say that's just a free kick. I think the exaggeration of Modric's dive was sort of done him a little bit. BT have exclusive rights to 3 more seasons. They are, however, talking to ITV about a highlights deal. Well, it'll be good in a couple of years' time. Let's just break off for a second because Real Madrid are on the attack. Good save from Benzema there from 6 yards by Edison, diving away to the right. It was a marvellous save. And usually from 6 yards, Benzema buries them in his sleep or for breakfast, dinner and tea. But somehow Edison, the top quality keeper he is, denies Benzema. The Frenchman denied by the Brazilian. And Manchester City can breathe again. 0-0. I might have a look at the replay. I'll have a look at the. Hopefully, I'll get a replay up on my monitor and try and explain how good a save that really was. Half an hour gone. I'll come to Trevor's comments about the television coverage in a second. But I really want to see that replay of that Edison save a few seconds ago. That's worth another look, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, here's Mendy now, who misses the Etihad return in over 2 weeks' time. Why do you need BT when you've got JB? BT haven't got a patch on me, that's for sure. Anyway, here's Benzema, who should have scored a moment or two ago. Plays it infield, and a chance now on the edge of the area, and it was Isco with the left foot, way over the top, and a goal kick. But let's have a look at that save. I'm going to give us a replay in a second here. We're in the hand of a Spanish television director. Let's have a look at it's by the penalty spot, 6 yards out. He has hold off 2 City defenders, and what a save that is from Edison. This is why City paid the money. He's having to dive. He's almost like Stretch Armstrong trying to dive to his left. And Benzema, in fairness to him, has done everything right. He's headed it back towards the left-hand side, and the goalkeeper has just pulled off a lightning reaction, and unfortunately they couldn't finish up. Vinicius Junior could not finish off the rebound, and Benzema frustrated. We've got an injury here, and it might well be that Fernandinho's going to have to come on. It's Laporte who's just come back from a long-term injury layoff. This would be a huge blow for Manchester City if they were to lose him. Right, meanwhile, let's just check the comments whilst there's nothing happening. BT do have exclusive rights for 3 years, says Trevor, for the next 3 seasons. They are, however, talking to ITV about a highlights deal, as ratings are low for European football in the last 5 years. They have been, really. There were rumours that ITV were going to get some live matches as well. I hope that also comes to fruition. I hope that's true as well. In comparison, the FA Cup now outdraws Champions League football. Yeah, in terms of viewership, and it's going to get even more popular in the next 18 months or so, because ITV are replacing BT as Fernandinho replaced Laporte. ITV will be taking over the BT's Cup rights, so they're going to have 25 live matches from 2021. Along with the BB, who have 18. Plus ITV will have all the big England games. And so you're going to have up to 40 matches on terrestrial TV, and that's not happened for quite some time. 18 matches on the Beeb, and of course 25 FA Cup games, a Community Shield match, and another 10 England games on ITV. And you're looking up towards 40, 50 games on between the 2 terrestrial broadcasters. Plus they've also got exclusive rights to the next couple of major European and World Cup tournaments. It'd be nice if we had a terrestrial broadcaster doing the Premier League, but with the way the money's going at the moment, we just see a little bit of a tangle there between Ilkay Gundogan and Luka Modric down on the near side. Gundogan is injured as well. If Luke Caton talking about the permutations at the bottom of the Championship, and quite rightly so, it has to be said, because if Wigan and Barnsley both win tonight, Luton, who went off the bottom yesterday with their win over Brentford, you may remember, well, they'll go bottom of the table. Susan says, hi, sorry I'm late. Where's my 2 little words? Happy birthday. Benini says, I know it's sad, wouldn't it? You know, we'd like to see I would like to see 20 games on terrestrial TV, but I'd like to see Amazon get the rights for the Premier League exclusively. They do a good deal, and I like the coverage, and I enjoyed the thing where you can turn the crowd on and off as well, which has enhanced our coverage as well, actually. So Amazon Prime have helped us a little bit in terms of the match atmosphere and the match coverage for you guys. Meanwhile, we've got a free kick here to Real Madrid. We're just the Italian referee making it clear, plain to see. Right, let me run through the incidents, Sue, because Jesus has had missed an opportunity around about the 15-minute mark. It was a little bit cagey for the first 15 minutes, and then came to life when Jesus had a one-on-one save by Edison, and then all of a sudden then there was another chance for De Bruyne, which he put wide, and we've just seen a marvellous save from Edison to deny Benzema, and Laporte is off and Fernandinho is on because Laporte has picked up an injury, and there's half time coming in as we speak, but we'll just see this free kick out before rattling for those as Modric takes a free kick right hand side, and there was a bit of pushing and jostling, and the Italian referee standing for no nonsense, and Valverde's been penalised, which is a relief to Manchester City. Right, let's get through some of these half times, and there's been a goal as well. Russell will be pleased. Middlesbrough 0, Leeds 1. Klitsch with a goal just before the break. Half time, you know who's 0, Stoke 0. I love to mention them as a Burnley fan. Fulham 0, Swansea 0. Let's just break off for a second because Jesus has the ball, left hand side, just outside the penalty area. Takes on Varane, plays the ball in there towards Bernardo Silva, who gets a left foot shot inside the area, but it was a very tame shot, and Courtois diving to his left took the ball rather easily. Fulham 0, Swansea 0, Hull 0, Barnsley 1. Half time in the Leeds game, Middlesbrough 0, Leeds 1. Half time, Millwall 0, Birmingham 0. Panini making a bold statement. I didn't mention it during the cricket Cricket 19 stream we put on earlier today. If you have missed it, it's a good match and plenty of drama in it. We won't give you the final results, so if you want to watch that, if you want to replay that a bit later on the cricket, and of course we've got the Tyson Fury fight as well. It's they are banned for the next 2 years, not this season. But this season, next 2 seasons allegedly, because Manchester City have appealed the ban, and it's subject to a hearing from the Court of Arbitration for Sport. That's my understanding of the situation. So it's in the hands of CAS, as a free kick has been given against De Bruyne for a foul on Real Madrid's version of Mendy. Got 2 Mendys at the moment, Benjamin Mendy and Real Madrid's version of it. Listen to your boxing, yeah. I hope I've passed as my audition as a buddy in Reg Gutteridge. He was one of my, if you've seen my question and answer session the other day, I cite Reg Gutteridge as one of my influences as a commentator in any sort of level, in any sort of sport, because Reg Gutteridge was a tremendous commentator and a tremendous human being, and his knowledge of sport was unbelievable. In fact, here's a little story about Reg you might not know. In the 70s, ITV was showing daredevil stunts on World of Sport, and they featured Evel Knievel in one. Evel Knievel, and Reg Gutteridge did the commentary on that. There's a fact you didn't know. And he also did a few Eddie Kidd stunts as well. So if you're wondering who the voice was on those Eddie Kidd and Evel Knievel ones, it was the late great Reg Gutteridge, and a tremendous commentator. Great friends, of course, with Muhammad Ali. Same with Harry Carpenter. The reason I say Reg Gutteridge over Harry Carpenter was that Carpenter could be very pro-biased. I remember I watched a clip. I'll just break off for a second because Jesus is on the ball here for City, well cut out, and Mendy can get it away. Just going back to Harry Carpenter, it was a great commentator, but he's too close to the British fighters, especially Henry Cooper and Frank Bruno. I think when Cooper lost his titles in '71, his British and Commonwealth titles, to Joe Bugner, he was amazed that Bugner got the decision from Harry Gibbs, the referee. Although I watched that fight, I watched a replay of that fight on YouTube, and I would have actually said that Bugner would have taken it on points anyway if you're an unbiased boxing fan and not a Henry Cooper fan. But Cooper never forgave Gibbs for that decision. He felt he was robbed, but I thought Bugner had won that fight, watching it objectively on YouTube a few years back. That's why Reg Gutteridge used to stick up for the British boxers, but also he also recognised that if they were beaten, then he was very good. 698 subscribers. Come on, 2 away from that magical 700. What a nice way to do it in a game like that. Never a Frank Bruno fan. I did like Frank, as we just got back to the commentary of the game. Have a pint again. I'll be having a pint after this one and more with my sirloin steak from the local butchers, the local Madrid butchers. Thank you, Luke Caton. Tell your dad thank you very much from me. Right, we're inside the last 4.5 minutes of the first half plus stoppage time. VARmatch.com is spamming again, which is not what we want to see. And also, can I just say, no spamming. There are 6 moderators on at any one time, including New Caton, Trevor Sports, Panini, and all that. We don't need your, we don't need people like you. VRmatch.com. Why do you keep coming back and trying to spam us? I will never know. Right, let's get back to the game. We've got a free kick here to Real Madrid. Oh dear me. Valverde took one there. He was shackled from behind and he bumped into Benzema, and Benzema's knocked has been knocked down to the floor. Well, we've had a few opportunities. Yes, thank you very much, guys. Well, you see, you don't mess around with 3 or 4 moderators. That's the thing, you can spam as much as you want, but you get reported. And you do it once too often, that's what you get. Oof, dear me. It was a bit of a crap there against Benzema, wasn't it? Oh, dear me. You can feel it every time you see it. We've got a breaking player there. Yeah, yes. Get in there, Frank. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Harry Carpenter did say in an interview he was very unprofessional about that. He said it's one of his biggest regrets, which was big of him, really. I mean, we all love Big Frank and all that, but sometimes he wouldn't. But he just didn't have the heart, and it's just a shame he couldn't hold on to the World Heavyweight title, which he won in '95 against Oliver McCall, long enough, because within 6 months he'd lost it again to Mike Tyson. Anyway, everyone's enjoying what we're offering at the moment. Later on, we'll be branching into a couple of other sports as well live. Real life sports. We'll have the Formula 1, of course, some of the big races there on the World Championship. And Lewis Hamilton this year equal Michael Schumacher's record of 7 world titles. He's level with Fangio on 6. Lewis, there's been all sorts of rumours of him not in contract rumours with him at Mercedes. Looks like he's staying at Mercedes for this season coming, because all the teams have been testing in the build up to the Australian Grand Prix, which takes place next month. And of course we'll have proper cricket commentaries in the summer, where we'll be featuring, amongst other games, we'll have the T20 games live, uninterrupted, the T20 Brass, the T20 internationals involving England, and commentary highlights of England's test matches this summer as well. So plenty of good cricketing action, as well as Euro 2020 as well. And hopefully we'll have Russ, Trevor, of course. We're looking to add to the commentary team for the European Championships, and of course we'll hopefully get Chris Whiteman back in time for those championships as well. So hopefully we'll have 4 top-class a commentary team of 4 top-class commentators, including myself as lead commentator, and of course we'll try and get Trevor as well as a bit of a commentary, as well as doing some commentary for us, doing some of the presenting work as well, taking a little bit of the burden off me actually. Anyway, here's Gundogan for Real Madrid, for Manchester City. Sorry, here's Benjamin Mendy on the left-hand side, back inside to De Bruyne. There's been a goal in the game in Lyon. I'll tell you about that a little bit in a second, because City are building up a little bit of an attack here, midway inside the half. Yeah, let's talk. Absolutely, let's talk money. Yes. There'll be a few John Boy bonds making your way to your wallet, that's for sure, or JB bonds. I don't think JB bonds is quite good as Trevor bonds, actually, quite frankly. Not very original, is it? Let's be fair. We played the 45 minutes at the end of the first half. We're going to 2 added minutes. We are going to take a 10-minute break, and also I'm going to be checking Facebook, because I've had a lot of attention on there today, as it's a certain person's birthday, and I've had about 40-50 different messages, and I haven't stopped to do any prep. I ended up doing prep about half an hour before we started going on air, because I couldn't stop I couldn't reply quickly to people wishing me happy birthday quickly enough. In fact, one lady, one great friend of mine who's a lady friend, who's a lovely friend of mine. She's a wonderful woman. She wished me a happy 28th birthday, and she knocked 9 years off my age. I could I could give her a huge big smacker on the old cheeks for that. It was nice. It was absolutely nice. So yeah, if she thinks I look 28, I'm happy with that. Yes, bless her cotton socks indeed. Right, we've got a minute to go of the stoppage time. Manchester City now, in all seriousness, have a corner now. Let's just concentrate on this for the final 45 seconds. Thank you, Steve. And you're boinging your way back to the rightful place in the Premier League as that corner comes in. Quattro hanging out, fisted it, and it's off the line. Off the line. Ran in the very last, and Onana had the shot there. He was a crowd seat. De Bruyne now into the area. Courtois not very convincing with the punch. He was very lucky in some respects. That went straight to Isco and then falls over as if he's been shot there by Lee Harvey Oswald. And has conned the referee into giving a free kick to Real Madrid. This was the opportunity again. Courtois with a pop. And I think, I might be wrong, but I think that's Kyle Walker having the shot there, is it? No, it's not. It's Gabriel Jesus, sorry. And it wasn't going in. And then Ramos makes an absolute dog's dinner in on the line. Courtois again. He's not the goalkeeper we remember him at Chelsea, is he? Flapping at things and oh dear me. Anyway, in all of that chaos at the end of the first half, the whistle's gone. And, well, where do you start with that? Courtois made a good save earlier on. And then, oh dear me. And then Edison made a terrific save to deny Benzema. And then we had all them shenanigans at the end there when Courtois was flapping at things. It's been really, really interesting at the moment. Anyway, let's just have a couple of minutes to catch our breath, because that was a. Trevor wants his final. I'll accept, JB. I'll accept one, JB. Right, anyway. Anyway, I'm just going to take 10 minutes to calm down, because I've got plenty of birthday measures that I need to apply to elsewhere for 10 minutes. I also need to catch my breath for 10 minutes. So it's 0-0 here in Madrid. I'll be back in 10 minutes with a little bit of banter with you guys, and then the second half live of Real Madrid and Manchester City. I'll catch you then. Half time here in Madrid. It's Real Madrid 0, Manchester City 0. Be back in about 10 minutes. Welcome back to the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid, where it's Real Madrid 0, Manchester City 0, a team that have been allegedly banned from Europe for the next 2 seasons, subject to a court of arbitration decision. But it should be an absolute humdinger of a second half in prospect. Real Madrid have come close to going a goal down on a couple of occasions, although Edison had to make a great save himself to pull off. So we're all set to go. Just waiting for the teams to come out. I've responded to most of the birthdays. Thanks to Trevor as well for his asking of as well. Well, something's happened here. Something's been going on whilst I've been away, involving Darren Jones. I'm afraid that's not good enough, Darren. I mean, you can't do that. You can't say things like that. We are a respectable channel. I will delete that message as well. They're foul moderators. Do not tell me I'm sorry, but that's not what we're there to be. We're a family show, and people will be reported. It's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. We've got stuff to do. Anyway, back to the game, and let's just get back to the game. Let's not worry about that. Let's just keep the comments clean. Let's keep it a family show. We all want to enjoy the game. Let's all be respectful. Just remember what happened the other week. Let's all be kind to each other. # be kind. And as the teams come out, I'm going to write this on here now, because it is. Let's all be kind. As we await the second half, Real Madrid are just in the tunnel, incidentally, for the start of the second half, which is, as you know, it's 0-0. Manchester City just coming out the tunnel below me here. It's a bitter night out here in Madrid, and let's just hope the second half really lives up to all expectations. City almost in front before the start of the second half. Before the end of the first half, I should say. Still 0-0. The teams are just about coming out of the tunnel. Should be good cracking anyway. Thank you, Luke Caton. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed everything. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed all the content and everything tonight. And hopefully you'll listen back to the last half an hour. Don't worry about it. It's all. I didn't see anything wrong. I was too busy worrying about my birthday to worry about that, New Cases. So don't worry. These things happen in life, so just don't worry about it. Just enjoy yourself. Have a good evening, and whatever you're up to, enjoy. So don't you worry. Right, we're back to the. We're about to restart the second half. 0-0. Just to remind you the score, but Manchester City came close to scoring at the end of the first half, and away we go then. City now, if they can just nick an away goal and just give themselves that chance. The Etihad is a completely different proposition, of course, to what went before at the moment, so we'll just have to see how this one plays out. But I'm looking forward to this game. Should be looking forward to the second half. Should be quite a classic here. The atmosphere is superb, and I have to say we are delighted to be in the commentary box here at the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid. I think it's the first time we've ever covered a match live of this importance, so here in Madrid. So thank you for sticking with us, and it's nice to be watching that. I thought Madrid had been lovely and warm. What, in the middle of winter? It is a little bit nippy. We are in the evening anyway. We're in the late evening here in Madrid. I've got to fly straight back to Burnley tomorrow to do my day job. Some guys have all the luck. But not a bad way to spend your 37th birthday in the commentary box in one of the world's greatest stadiums, is it? Well, not really, but I'm in the warmth of a one from the studio, but no one need know. Anyway, back to the second half. This is Sergio Ramos now for Real Madrid. In towards number 14, Casemiro, who's spelled there by Kyle Walker and Bernardo Silva, respectively. Free kick to Real Madrid, just outside his own half. Or his own penalty area, I should say. And it's going to be left for Thibaut Courtois, who was punching and flapping and making all sorts of mistakes in all that chaos at the end of the first period. Let's hope the second period is just as well. Anyway, here comes the free kick, long and high, but taken well. Mendy keeps possession, finds Isco. Isco into Modric. Modric now into Valverde. On towards Benzema, who was taken out. Was he? No, says the referee. The Italian referee was well positioned, but will give a free kick to Manchester City and a yellow card to Valverde. So the first booking of the second half goes to the Real Madrid midfielder. Now he's got to watch himself now, because another yellow card in a later game, or even another one tonight, where he could get himself sent off and he'll be out of the second leg alongside Manchester City's Benjamin Mendy. So it did look a bit harsh, but that's the problem in European games. They're not like what our Premier League referees see in England, because we tend to let decisions like that go a little bit. We all want yellow cards and red cards. We want retrospective punishment that fits the crime, but that's just the way it is sometimes. There's a long ball kick forward and it's with the goalkeeper Courtois. My day job is actually I'm actually a support worker, a carer in a care home in Burnley, and that's all I can say on that, I'm afraid. I know it's a bit secretive, but that's what I do, and the people I look after are superb. But it's a good job, rewarding, and it answers people's lives who are less fortunate than myself, and it makes me feel a little bit more good about myself, because it makes me feel very humble and very fortunate that I'm not in their position, and part of me wishes they weren't in that position, and all that, and that's what we like to see. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Valverde out to the far side now. Can Manchester City hold on in there? Isco for Real Madrid, right hand side, deep inside City territory here. Yeah, it's good, Duquette, and it's a nice job to do. Been doing the job on and off in several places for about 2.5 to 3 years. Meanwhile, here's De Bruyne now for Manchester City, charging through in the middle. Mahrez to the right. Riyad Mahrez into the penalty area. Fleet-footed. Shoot! Oh, just wide of the left hand, but right. Left-footed as well. And behind for a goal kick. What an opportunity that would have been there for Manchester City. What a run this was by Kevin De Bruyne. Fed here, goes over the halfway line. Must have run about 40-50 yards centrally with the ball. Spotted Mahrez to his right. And there was Mahrez, left foot, just wide of the left-hand upright. Very good opportunity that was for Manchester City to get that away goal. That would have been an amazing thing. So you must be absolutely thrilled to bits that Liverpool are potentially 12 points away. So practically 4 wins away from a Premier League title for the first time since 1990. It's I bet that's going to be a nice moment there. Hopefully you don't do it against us in April. Let's hope we do. I hope the title's been settled by the time you play us in April. That's a game that's being televised as well. Hopefully you'll put your young guns out and let us win. I'm only joking. Anyway, 0-0 is the score here, but Mahrez should have scored, as Travis quite rightly says. It was a great opportunity, and it was a very, very, very good play. But I hope Liverpool I hope Liverpool really go on and do things. They deserve the title. They play some exhilarating football. I'm just very sorry that I couldn't do the game on Monday night. Sometimes. So what are we going to talk about? The shot stunning win over Boreham Wood yesterday. Aldershot, yes, Boreham Wood, of course, home of EastEnders, and Luke Reid beaten by Aldershot. Yes. Yeah. Who'd have thought Boreham Wood was famous for one man, eh? Mr. Lou Grade. As we just see the finish of Mahrez that just goes wide of the far up right. City have a corner meanwhile whilst I was talking and looking through the comments section, and here comes the corner. In comes from De Bruyne towards the near post, flicked away by the Real Madrid defenders. And a foul there. Free kick, Man City deep inside Madrid half. They thought they were breaking away there. Certainly Vinicius Jr. thought so anyway. But he's definitely fouled Mahrez there. There's no doubt about that. He's completely pushed him in the back. He's almost demolishing him. Well, to call the face from a Lou Gray programme, Stingray, produced of course by the great Jerry Anderson. Anything can happen in the next half hour. Plus added time, of course. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, the great Commander Shaw off Stingray. Troy Tempest and all that. First ever programme I think ever made to be made in colour. I think. I'm certainly feeling a bit of an anorak tonight. Anyway, 0-0, and certainly Manchester City have had more than their fair share of opportunities to put this game certainly to bed, and I think they have been good value for at least being 0-0 if not in front. If they can just get an away goal under their belts, it's going to make things so tough now for Real Madrid in that second leg in about 3 weeks time at the Etihad. That's surely going to be a yellow card for Luka Modric. Tackle from behind, midway inside the Real Madrid half. Free kick to Manchester City in what should be a pretty promising position for them. And I've got no doubt here City could do something here. I've got a feeling that something's going to happen here, and it's going to be something magical for Manchester City. I hope they do get a goal, and I'm not trying to be English biased, and I don't want to upset any Real Madrid fans who might be tuning into this broadcast, because I'm strictly 100% neutral, of course. I'm a Burnley fan, but from an English perspective, you want the English teams to do really, really well. I was very disappointed with Chelsea last night. Very disappointed with Spurs. They didn't put on a very good performance. I was disappointed with Mourinho's excuses. Here's Vinicius Jr. into the penalty area. Vinicius Jr. He goes down. Now what does the ref give here? No penalty. No penalty. I felt he went down a little bit too easily actually, Vinicius Jr. And in fairness to him, he accepts the decision. He lost his balance. That's the truth. Looking at the replay, Walker hardly touched him. I think you'd have been a complete... Well, oh my goodness me! What's Courtois doing there? Trying to chest the ball down, and he almost chested it into the path of Gabriel Jesus. This is unreal. Thibaut Courtois is having a nightmare, but yet it's getting away. Interesting fact, you met Jerry Anderson. Great bloke. I bet he was a great bloke. I subscribe to the Jerry Anderson channel on YouTube, and they really do some great podcasts. If you are a Jerry Anderson fan, I check that out. It's a very good thing. It's done by Jerry Anderson's son. It's a really good podcast. If you're a Stingray or a Thunderbirds fan or a Captain Scarlet fan even. Here's Mahrez inside the penalty. Shooting again. Courtois wasn't convincing his near post, but he got away with it again. Oh my giddy aunt. That's the one, Sue. That's the one. As I'm more into Thunderbirds than Stingray though. I like Thunderbirds. 50 minutes of sheer heaven. Used to watch that when I was a kid on BBC Two. Back in the day. And all the hours Dad spent one Christmas trying to find a Tracy Island. Oh dear me. When she could have just taken an advice from a certain Anthea Turner, who knows? Offside, is it? No, it isn't. Oh, I thought the flag had stayed down. Well, the flag had stayed down. It confused me a little bit. Mahrez looked suspiciously offside as that ball was played, but the linesman kept his flag down. The Italian linesman kept his flag down, and Morris should have scored there from the right-hand side with his right foot shot. Anyway, it's Gundogan. City are really turning up pressure also over a sudden on Real Madrid. Madrid can't get out their own half here. Here's De Bruyne. He goes down. Referee's not interested. This is turning into a cracking second half, Trevor, I've got to say. Right, 4 minutes before we decide... Well, we've got 4 minutes to go before we open up the JB Man in the Match votes. There's going to be some vote and a half this tonight. Here's Vinicius Junior. He's away from his man. Got away from Nicola Otamendi. Now back to Mendy. Mendy to find Modric. Modric to Mendy. Left hand side for Real Madrid. A little deflection on the ball. Isco goes in with a header at the far post. And it's into the arms of Edison, who made that marvellous save 5 minutes from the break in the first half, of course. And we might just start to get the more the game goes on, this game will become a bit more stretched, but it's good for the neutral. This just needs a goal. I think we've only had 2 0-0s this season. They were Aston Villa in that game I'd rather forget against West Ham, where we had all sorts of technical problems, and the other week at Wolves, where Wolves drew 0-0 with Leicester City. But hopefully we'll see a goal here in Madrid. Here comes the cross. It's a corner. This is arguably the tie of the round. As we just see the other effort there from Mahrez with the right foot. That's a good save actually from Courtois. It's a good save. I have to say that Courtois, for all his flapping and mistakes he's made, has certainly made up for a couple of them with that save there just a moment ago, as that cross was pumped in again. Shot from Fernandinho from just outside the area, 25 yards from goal, right footed, goes past the left hand post, and a goal kick as Mr. Zidane and Mr. Guardiola start plotting their next moves. And I can just see down below me there the ponytailed familiar figure of Mr. Bale. Name dropper. What was he like as a person? I think they're referring to Jerry Anderson. Remember JB? Russ Barkley. I had a Tracy Allen. Did yours talk? No, it didn't, I don't think. I don't think it did. Anyway, enough about Tracy Islands. And here's Vinicius Junior. It's on the area. Oh, he scored 3. It's scored 3 Real Madrid. Into the left-hand corner of the net. And Real Madrid are in front against the run of the play, which is tough justice really on Manchester City in some respects. But Manchester City's approach does not change from here on in. They're only a goal down. They're still not out of this contest by any means, but Isco was left completely unmarked. Right hand side of the 6-yard box, had time to pick his spot and fire it beyond the despairing lunge of Edison and find the bottom left-hand corner. Given away in the end. Mistakes all around in the City defence. Kyle Walker and Fernandinho got themselves in a bit of a tangle. No one was picking up Isco. Right-hand side of the penalty spot. Out came Edison. Vinicius Junior with a good through ball. One touch to control with the right, and then the shot, and then the finish was exquisite. It's got to be said. Right in the left-hand corner. Oh, they love it here in Madrid. But as far as Manchester City are concerned, it changes nothing as regards their approach to this, because if they do get an away goal, it will still have given the advantage. So City are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Let's not forget that. It's only 1-0. No one's out of anything just yet. They're away from home. An away goal could change everything in this tie. And remember, even a 1-0 defeat is not a disaster for Manchester City, really. Liverpool found out last week. So anything's still possible. They're back at home, and City and Liverpool are formidable oppositions on their own patch as well. Let's not forget that. Meanwhile, we'll just break off for a second. He was hosting a conference in his career in Bournemouth, and my partners took me as a youngster. I got to say hello at the end and look at the actual models using the show. And a nice bloke. He seems like a nice bloke. Watching him on interviews, Jerry Anderson, what a great guy. And and sadly missed in the world. Parents, I should say. Parents. Newcaton's happy that Madrid are winning, and Trevor's quite right. It was a mistake by Kyle Walker in the first place that cost them a goal. But as I say, the approach from Manchester City in theory does not change one iota, because what it will do now, it means City will start playing with a bit more urgency, and they've still got an opportunity here to get back in this game. Let's not forget that. The game is not over yet for Manchester City. Let's not make any bones about this. We've had 61 minutes gone, and you've now got the chance now to vote until the 90th minute for your JB man in the match. You know what you need to do. The name of your player, and then hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM, please. And whoever gets the most votes wins our supplementary award. Anyway, here's Bernardo Silva. Remember, City have still got 2 subs left. City trying to claim handball, but they get a throw in instead. Guardiola saying to the Italian ref that's an handball, but the Italian referee Orizato is saying that it came off the left hand side of his chest, and emphatically saying that. We can only have his word on that. VAR don't have all that. They have a different VAR system to what we have in England, that the referees do check, and we saw it work properly to its full potential last night in that Chelsea game when Alonso swiped and knocked out one of the Bayern Munich players, and on television evidence, because of the referee actually taking the time to take 20 seconds to look at it on a monitor, it came to the right decision, something that is not done enough in England, because we do have monitors on the side of the pitch in the Premier League, right? It came to the right decision, the French officials, and got the decision upgraded quite rightly from a yellow card, which was originally given, to a red. Now that to me was VAR working at its best. I prefer the UEFA or FIFA system, where the referees should have the casting vote and go to a monitor, something that the Premier League have to implement. As the shot comes in from outside the area from De Bruyne, it was blocked, left-footed shot. Man had been travelling as well, so it was a good block that. Gundogan gets it out to the far side. Mendy now has it. Left-hand side. Will take on Isco, who scored the only goal of the game. 64 minutes gone. Remember, JB man of the match, of course. In towards Mahrez, whose missed chances now could well come back to haunt Manchester City. Virgil Tracy. I don't think he's involved. Unless one of the 2 touches down on the pitch, I don't know. Anyway, here's a chance for De Bruyne. I think the English teams could do with Scott and Virgil to get them out of the way. Virgil Tracy. Anyway. Anyway, 64 minutes gone. It's Real Madrid 1, Man City 0. Remember, it's only the first leg. Nothing's decided tonight, of course. There is the second leg at the Etihad on March the 17th, I believe, St Patrick's Day. 2 votes for Virgil. Mahrez does not look comfortable at this level. He doesn't, I have to say. I mean, he was good in Leicester colours. I think he's good for a team like Leicester. I think he's gone there for the money. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's a class act. I don't think I could do it for Rangers. I haven't got the voice for it, Sue, if I'm being totally honest. I don't think I could do it like that. There's no chance of me doing it. I don't know how the Brazilian commentators. Yes, please, proper. Can we have some proper votes? I don't really want to be doing the casting vote myself. I want this done by 90 minutes. I don't want to make a decision halfway through and the extra time. Oh dear, but it's been such a good game. It's been very enjoyable. It's been good watch. We've had some good banter as well with Trevor, myself, Newcaton, Sue, Panini. Just a shame Russ isn't here, but he's not too bothered. Leeds are winning at the moment as things stand, and they're sitting pretty towards the top end of the championship in those top 2 spots. As the cross comes in, well taken there by Edison on his penalty spot. It's hard to choose really who could be a potential man in the match. There's been some really good performances. De Bruyne has put in a good shift. Henderson's put in a good shift. Isco's done well. So a few candidates out there. But it's hard to choose really a man in a match that stands out head and shoulders, because some of the players have played really well. Anyway, here come Manchester City now. Can they find an equaliser? Oh, De Bruyne just couldn't get in there, and it was dealt with then, but it comes to Mahrez, edge of the area. Mahrez goes down. Referee's not interested. Italian ref is not interested. No goals in the second half. No change in the score between Lyon and Juventus. It was 1-0 to Lyon. And I'm forgetting who scored the goal. It was such a long time ago. I didn't bring you the score. This has been such a good game full of non-stop incident. We haven't had time to stop for anything else. Anyway, here comes the cross into the penalty area towards Benzema, whose header was beautifully saved in the first half, you may remember, by Edison. And now the ball is lost by Isco, and Jesus wins it, but the ball is into no man's land, because City had most of their dark-shirted players back. Off the chest. Yeah, it looked to me as that come off the chest. I can understand Guardiola's frustration. Fourth official there, Daniele Devore, just making it plain that it wasn't a handball. One can understand Guardiola's frustration, but there's still a long way to go in this tie. It's not over yet. It's only going to be once the final whistle goes here tonight. In the tie itself, it's half-time. But just to remind you, if you weren't listening earlier, that Rangers are through to the Europa League last 16 with a 1-0 win in Braga. That kicked off at 5:30. And because Portuguese teams don't play on the Thursday, for one reason or another, they played tonight, and I'm pleased to say that Rangers won through by a goal to nil, and they go into the last 16. And my word, I think we have to look at them as a potential commentary game if ever they go in Europe. I think Steven Gerrard's got a good European run going with them. They're way behind Celtic, of course, in terms of the league championship race. But I tell you what, in Europe they look a real prospect, and they have a real diamond, I believe, in Morelos. And if anyone wants to blame, if you've got a career mode going with FIFA and you're looking for a new striker who doesn't cost the earth like 12 to 13 million, I think Morelos is your man. Good night, Newcaton. Have a good evening. Sleep well, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you. I have had a fantastic birthday. Thank you, Newcaton, and thanks, and just say thank you to your dad from me as well. It was nice for people to say that. Anyway, go on. Just the ones. I just don't think I've got the voice in me, Sue. I really don't. I don't think I could shout goal for more than 3 seconds. Anyway, the ball into the penalty area, away by Otamendi. I've got to watch my voice. If I try and do goal for 30 seconds, I think it might damage my vocal cords. And that's me. And I'm at no voice. I commentated on cricket earlier on. So, you know, I've done a lot of commentary over the last 48 hours. And I need to be in perfect remedy for the cup final. Hopefully when we cover that live on Sunday afternoon. One again that really does promise to be. Can Aston Villa upset the form book and upset Manchester City? Raheem Sterling's going to be coming on in a minute. There's still a Sergio Aguero on the substitutes bench. I don't understand why they didn't start Aguero and Sterling in the first place. I think they could have caused a lot more problems than what the front three that started already had. 20 minutes to go, plus any stoppage time. Will be going off the air around about 5 to 10. As soon as the final whistle goes here at the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid. The game live, coming to you from the Bernabeu Stadium. Thank you, Newcator. Thank you for that. Beautifully sung, I thought. Thank you very much indeed. You take care. Good night. Anyway, here come Real Madrid inside the penalty area and knocked away once more by Manchester City. Goodbye. Good night, Newcator. So his vote for Isco is the only one that's counting so far. You've still got 20 minutes or so to make your vote count for man in the match. Newcator set the standard for you. JBMLTM. Hashtag that. Hashtag JBMLTM and then the name of your player, or the opposite way around, vice versa, and just put it in the comment section. Here's Isco inside the penalty. Ramos with the shot. From 7 or 8 yards out, he somehow blazed it over the bar with his right foot. And Real Madrid came close there through Sergio Ramos to making it 2-0. City all over the place in defence, and in fact it's a corner because it hits Fernandinho and it's whistles well over the top of the bar. We've just lost sound again here in the, on our mic, so apologies for that. We will come back to you very shortly. But what I will say is that this has been a remarkable second half, and I think the tempo has been a lot better. The first 20 minutes it was a little bit dour, I will say that, but after that it's certainly perked up a bit, and the goal has really helped in no uncertain terms as the corner came in and Edison gets the ball cleanly. So 20 minutes left to play. We've got a game on here. I don't think there's any doubt about that. 72 minutes gone, and Manchester City are still in this game. They're not checking out the fight at all in any way, shape or form. They're going to fight until the last whistle here tonight, and even if they go away with a 1-0 defeat, it's not a disaster. It's not a worry, because the Etihad Stadium will be a different proposition in just over 2 weeks' time, or 3 weeks' time, as it will be here tonight. And that looked a free kick there. I don't know what Casemiro is complaining about, because it was a free kick. It was a definite push. And we're going to see the introduction here of a certain Mr. Gareth Bale. Now, there has been rumours that him and Zidane don't get on. But what goes on behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. Meanwhile, Raheem Sterling's come on for Manchester City, replacing Bernardo Silva. City have a free kick just about 15 yards inside the Real Madrid half on the apron of the centre circle. And taking it short now. Here's Walker on the right hand side for Manchester City. He has to go back again to halfway, and remember they've used the substitutes in force because Eric Laporte, well, hopefully the damage to Laporte won't be too serious. One hopes anyway. Here's Walker on the right hand side for Manchester City, who are trailing this game by a goal to nil. They get a free kick. Real Madrid now just quite happy to foul all of sundry and just use every trick in the book within reason to just keep their 1-goal lead intact. I think finally players like Manchester City's not with endearing too much. We're just looking at the goal again by Isco. Great finish. And beyond the goalkeeper's dive and into the left hand corner. As I said at the time when he scored, it was a very exquisite piece of finishing, and it got the the Galactical supporters certainly into raptures anyway. And in fact, Isco is being replaced, and Gareth Bale is now on the field, or is it? No, it's Vinicius Junior. Sorry. Now Gareth Bale's on. I couldn't understand. Yeah, it sounded like yeah, Vinicius Junior's come off. He's done okay tonight, Vinicius Junior. So 1 vote for Isco. I thought he said Isco actually, the announcer here. Me English. Anyway, 3 kick. De Bruyne for City. Out comes Courtois, and that's a more decisive piece of handling than some of the crosses he flapped at and mispunched and mishandled before that. That was more decisive from the big 6'6" goalkeeper. Almost like a basketball player, Thibaut Courtois, in the way that his body height and weight is. Could almost double for an NBA basketball player. Quarter of an hour left of the match. First leg, of course. Nothing decided here tonight. Second leg on St Patrick's Day on March the 17th at the Etihad Stadium. Here's Gareth Bale into the penalty area. Bale with the shot. Deflection. Fallen kindly for Edison. Gareth Bale, who scored that marvellous goal 2 years ago in that Champions League final against Liverpool. That overhead kick which sort of out-trumped Zidane some 16 years previously in 2002 in Glasgow. That was a great goal though. Yeah, so it was a night to also remember for Karius's mistakes, which cost Liverpool the Champions League final, and it forced him to go and spend £60 million bringing Alisson in, and boy, what a difference he's made between the sticks. Angel Adrian's played his part in Liverpool's run this season. They've still got the second legs, of course. And, of course, both Madrid sides are going to go to England, and oh, that's a mouth-watering prospect, I tell you. If City can get an equaliser here, it would be a marvellous fillip for them, because they've really put a lot of effort into the game. Of course, Aston Villa will have had the full benefit of a week's build-up to the Carabao final on Sunday. That's a 4:30 kick-off, incidentally, at Wembley. And it's a nice symmetry to it. The first ever winners of the League Cup against the current holders of it. Aston Villa, of course, the first winners of it back in 1961. When in those days it was a two-legged final. Anyway, here's De Bruyne into the penalty area, and the ball lifted in there. Jesus has equalised from 6 yards, header, and he went right through Courtois' hands and into the left-hand corner, and Manchester City get themselves a deserved equaliser. Madrid are complaining to the referee. Will VAR get involved this time? Let's have a look. De Bruyne there, there's the ball. No foul for me. Ramos makes a meal of it. Jesus wins the header cleanly, in my opinion. And Courtois should have saved it anyway. Ramos trying to make it as if he was fouled, but he wasn't. And the goal should stand, in my opinion. 1-1. And Pep Guardiola knows that could be a priceless goal. The goal's going to stand, and I think the referee was right. Ramos was not fouled at all. That was just his... There we go again. It's his play acting that's coming to the fore again. He's got his hands on his back, but no more. He's not pushing or anything like that. And if this goal gets disallowed, then I'll be absolutely annoyed. And quite rightly he's given. I think it's the right decision. Ramos is trying to make a song and dance about it, and he's been doing that for years. And anyway, City are now buoyed by that. They've got an away goal. This is a good result for City. It could be even better if they score another one. Mahrez in the area. Oh, and he nearly did it again, Jesus. 6 yards out, heads over. And he won the header again cleanly. Oh my, giddy out. City almost in dreamland here. Oh, what a turnaround that could have been. But I tell you what, they deserve to be level, Manchester City. Let's make no mistake about it. 78 minutes. 12 minutes from the end. City have got a priceless, let's make no bums about it, priceless equaliser, which they've certainly deserved on the balance of play. They've really had a go at Madrid tonight. And you've got to put it down to Courtois again. Courtois should have saved it. Take nothing away from the header by Jesus, but that was savable. Kevin De Bruyne is Trevor's man in the match, and I think that's a good shout, Trevor. So 1 vote for Isco, 1 vote for Kevin De Bruyne, or KDB. Initials are allowed if they are De Bruyne or Van Persie or whatever. We got D and Van in them. Then yeah, fair enough. Anyway, here's Isco, far side, well blocked again by Mendy. 1-1. Here's Sterling now. Touches it back now to Fernandinho. City don't look overawed by it. It's been an heroic display by Guardiola's men. It really has tonight. And I tell you what, if they hadn't have scored tonight, I think it would have been a bit of an injustice, really, because the effort and endeavour they've put into this game has really, you should be proud of their efforts. And De Bruyne does good turn of speed, gets himself away on the left hand side. Now City have got just 10 minutes just to hold on in there, get themselves a 1-1 draw, and then it's all to play for at the Etihad Stadium on St Patrick's Day on March the 17th. This is Rodri over to the far side, and De Bruyne, who's had a marvellous game. And now a chance here. Oh, Sterling, he goes down. Penalty! Penalty to Manchester City! And Real Madrid are stunned. They may complain to the Italian official, but I think Sterling was tripped, and Manchester City have a penalty with 81 minutes of the game gone. How is your luck, City fans? Here's Sterling breaking into the box. Oh, he's fouled. Oh, he's taken out. Carvalho's taking him out. He's definitely penalty. It's a plumb penalty decision. Carvalho takes none of the ball, a lot of the man. He's trying to claim that Sterling dived. He didn't dive. Sterling was taken out quite conclusively, and that's a penalty. And not even VAR can save it. And Kevin De Bruyne has the chance now from 12 yards. Right foot, usually a surefire shot. City have missed a lot of penalties though recently. But can Kevin De Bruyne dismiss that myth now and put City in a commanding position in the tie overall? A second away goal would be amazing for City here. Thibaut Courtois has to stay on the line. It's going to be right foot. De Bruyne steps up. De Bruyne sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Into the left-hand corner. And Manchester City from 1-0 down are 2-1 up. And I've got complete control of this European Cup tie. 2 away goals as well to boot. And the Blue Hole for Manchester are in complete raptures. And if they are to be banned for the next 2 years, boy, are they going to enjoy what's left of this competition. And winning Madrid wouldn't be a bad way to start, would it? Right foot sends Courtois the wrong way into the left-hand corner of the net. And it's no more, absolutely no more, in my opinion, than what Manchester City deserve. They have been heroes to a man tonight. And Kevin De Bruyne, Trevor's choice for man of the match, is probably proving fruit here. We're going to see a change here. Double change for Real Madrid. Well, I'll tell you what, if Manchester City are warming up for Wembley, they've done it in the right way possible. On comes Lucas Vazquez for Luka Modric now with 83.5 minutes gone. It's 1-1, but I think if I have a casting vote, I might have to go with Trevor's choice over New Caton's. Isco is off and Jovic is on. So, the cat amongst the pigeons, isn't it? But you have to say, Manchester City, if you look at the statistics and the way they've played and the way they've tried to take the game to Real Madrid, have justifiably, in my opinion, have got the lead they so desperately wanted. And I think 2-1 is about right for me. And I think, forget what happens off the field with Manchester City. It's what's on it. And this is surely got to be one of their best European performances of all time. I know they won the Cup Winners' Cup all the way back in Malcolm Allison and Joe Mercer's day back in 1970. But this is going to rank up there one of their best ever European nights. And it gives them a real opportunity on St. Patrick's Day to really finish the job off, and the rest of Europe will be thankful now, because it opens up the Champions League now for other teams. I mean, Barcelona hadn't had it all their own way last night, of course, against Napoli. So if Real Madrid and Barcelona went out in the same round, boy, it opens things up a little bit, doesn't it? And here's Jesus. He's through. Ramos having it. Oh, Ramos has brought him down. Surely he must go. It has to be a red card. I think it's outside the penalty area. He's got to go because he's the last man. Ramos has got to be sent off. He has to be sent off here. He is sent off. And I think he has no cause for complaint. And Real Madrid's night is falling apart at the seams. They were 1 up about 10 minutes ago. And City have scored 2 away goals. And now have seen Real Madrid lose their captain. He had to go. He was the last man. And Bale and his teammates can moan and groan and complain all they want, but under the letter of the law, the decision was made, and it was the right decision. Definitely outside the box for me. Jesus was brought down. Ramos has pulled him back. And the referee, in my opinion, got it absolutely 100% correct. This is why you need the best Italian officials, the best French officials, the best Spanish officials, because they can keep up with a game of this pace. Not a Turkish official. This is why I keep arguing for better officials from Italy, Spain, France, England, all these bigger countries. Jesus is Miley's man of the match, but I might go with Trevor on this one yet, but still, we've got a three-way tie, but I've got to decide. At the moment, I would say Kevin De Bruyne, but let's just see what City get from a free kick. They couldn't have believed this at the start, could they? Anyway, the free kick just outside the area. Mahrez shoots through the wall, and well done to Courtois there. He sold the ball all the way. Tell you what, if that had gone in there, it would have completed a remarkable second half for Manchester City. 3 minutes to go, and it's all happened in the space of sort of 10 second half minutes. Madrid in front, and now all of a sudden, Mahrez is, Edison is playing sweeper keeper, and Manchester City now with Ramos off the field. I've got a real opportunity now and a little bit of time left to try and score a third, which might, and that also, and then the other good thing about that red card, because it's a straight red, he misses the next game at the Etihad Stadium. So Real Madrid are going to be without their inspirational captain. Sue has put Kevin De Bruyne ahead in the man of the match vote. So De Bruyne gets Trevor and Sue's vote for man of the match. A vote for Risco and a vote for Jesus. City have got a free kick on the far side. And Real Madrid's world is crumbling at the seams. Lucas Vazquez has brought down Sterling. As we see that left-footed effort from Mahrez, although it did look as if the right-footed Gundogan was going to take that free kick initially. But, well, City are in dreamland. Middlesbrough 0, Leeds United 1. I think that's a result. I think it's still 1-0 in Lyon as well. A certain team 0, Stoke 0. I'm not going to say who it is. You know, you can read for yourselves. I'd love to mention them, you know, being a Burnley fan. Anyway, Manchester City in dreamland. 2-1 ahead and a man up numerically. This is the stuff of footballing dreams, this. Any City fan who really thought that they had a chance now and they were written off, well, those who wrote the City fans off, who the more optimistic ones off, may well have to buy them a drink afterwards, because this has been a great City performance, probably one of their best ever Champions League performances, and showing now if they complete the job at the Etihad 3 weeks from now, then they deserve their quarter-final place. A lot of people didn't give him a price at the start of the game. Real Madrid at the Bernabeu Stadium. Well, nothing phases Manchester City, and if they've warmed up for Wembley on Sunday against Aston Villa, they have warmed up in the best possible way. The Manchester City fans, I can say, high up in the gods. They are absolutely cock-a-hoop. Vinicius Jr. looks a face of thunder down on the bench, I can tell you. 10 seconds of normal time remaining, and then we'll get the stoppage time winner. And the vote for the man of the match is now finished. And Trevor and Sue's vote for man of the match is going to be Kevin De Bruyne. KDB is our man of the match. And I think the right decision. Kevin De Bruyne, coolness personified. 3 added minutes. And I can tell you now that the stadium here in Madrid is emptying like you would not believe right now. Fulham 1, Swansea 0, Hull 0, Barnsley 1. What a result that is for Barnsley. Battling for survival in the Championship. As we now go into the closing stages of the game. A game that really has ebbed and flowed. A second half that's ebbed and flowed as much as you would love to. Hey, what a way to spend your 37th birthday. One's 37th birthday. Commentating one of the best English displays in European football for many a long year. It doesn't get much better than this. Aberdeen and Waterloo will 1 Southall in non-league. 2 minutes of the 3 to go. We'll be with you for another 2 or 3 minutes, and once the whistle goes, We are done for the evening. And now Mahrez through the centre. Will he go alone? Mahrez now goes down a little bit half-heartedly. Referee was quite right and said no. And Brecon City 0, Queen's Park 0 in Scottish Division 1 or 2 or whatever it is. Anyway, here come Real Madrid. I've really got a real hurdle to climb now. It's Mount Everest and Kilimanjaro for them combined. 2 away goals against them, and no Sergio Ramos for the second leg. The ball played into the penalty area. Oh, there's a chance there, and it was number 23 there at the far post. Mendy who tried to tap it in, but tapped it the wrong side of the post. Pep Guardiola, a former Barcelona manager, not universally popular in these parts, is just about to probably get the best win of his Manchester City managerial career here. Forget about the treble he won last season domestically. This outstrips the lot. Not many teams in the Champions League go to Real Madrid in a 2-legged tie and come away with a 2-1 result. The other major result involving an English team going to Madrid and winning was Arsenal back in 2006, and they went on to the final. This is surely going to eclipse what Arsenal achieved that night when Thierry Henry scored that marvellous individual goal to win the game there. Here's Mendy now from Madrid. City have just got to hold it out now for another 4 seconds, and that should be that. And the final whistle, I think it's gone. Yes, it has. What a result for Manchester City Football Club. Their future maybe for next couple of years, maybe in the hands of the lawyers. But I tell you what a result for them. Meanwhile, they've switched to a feed of the Juventus game, where it's not gone all well for Juventus at the moment. But what a result that is. Yes, and it was a fair result, Russ Vernon, I have to tell you. Manchester City deserved it, and they were superb. Oh, dear me. And Juventus are struggling as well. They've got the second leg, of course, back at their ground. They're still playing on at the moment. We've got a feed of the game, but it's still going on there. But it was a deserved win for City. And the best thing about that, Sergio Ramos sent off. And we'll be coming off the air as soon as we get word from Leon that of the final whistle. But been another dramatic night in the UEFA Champions Cup. Listen back to the comms, because there's good banter and a tremendous last 15 minutes of the second half, which you might be interested in listening to. It was a great game. I have no voice left. We're just it's all happening here. We've got an interloper over in Leon at the moment. Got a streaker on the pitch. Dear me. Well, I'm just watching a feed on my monitor here in Madrid of an interloper on the field of play over in France. Oh, if you ever believed it. Leeds won at Middlesbrough. They're on course for a return back to the big town where their fans will believe they belong. They're still playing on in Lyon, by the way, so the interloper, I believe, has been moved, and so it's still 1-0 to Lyon. What a great result that's going to be for the French side. Mind you, they've got to go to the Juventus Stadium in a couple of weeks' time for the second leg, and now Juventus are having a right go here. What a night in the Champions League. It's been an interesting one, all told. The interloper has been arrested, I believe, and still it remains 1-0 to Lyon. The whistle's just sounded, I believe, there. So Lyon have beaten Juventus, but still a long way to go in that game. There's been all sorts of excitement there, but there's been plenty of excitement here in Madrid tonight. Manchester City have beaten 10-man Real Madrid by 2-1. What a moment. What a moment in their history. And now they warm up for Sunday's Carabao final with Aston Villa with the best possible result. Well, thank you very much to Trevor, to Sue, to Panini, to Russ at the end there, and to everyone else. And thank you very much, and thank you very much for all the birthday wishes during the day from everybody. It has been amazing. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I hope you've enjoyed every second of what we've brought you here live here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you tonight. One of the ties of the round. Took a little while to come to the boil in the first half, but Manchester City, 11 heroes they were tonight. Kevin De Bruyne was our man in the match, but there were probably 11 man in the matches really in a dark shade of Manchester City. They all deserve all the praise they get. Thank you very much for everybody. It's going to be a fantastic performance. Real Madrid now have got to get themselves up for the El Clasico on Sunday, but our match will be at Wembley, hopefully, all being well, between Aston Villa and Manchester City. So hopefully we'll join you on Sunday. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you very soon. From me, JB, thank you for everyone's company for the last few hours. It's been amazing. Take care, and I'll see you soon. From me, good night.